installments on hire purchase, my God, but it was worth it.
And you've always loved cars, isn't that right?
Yes, I have.
So which was your second car? Which was the car that you bought after that?
After that I had a DeSoto, then I had a Chevrolet Bel Air, then I had an Impala. In between I bought a couple of Jeeps. I was very fond of Jeeps, and I used to go for shikars.
The Jeep that you bought, now I was reading somewhere, the first Jeep that you bought, you called it Dinky. Why did you call it Dinky?
I had a pet dog we used to call Dinky when I was young in Matunga. I suppose I loved him very much, and I remember that dog. It was, I suppose, a little fashionable to call it car or something. I named it Dinky. Yes, you're very correct. I called my first Jeep Dinky. My second Jeep was Yahoo.
And we all know what Yahoo is, of course. And we're not talking about the search engine here. We're talking about Mr. Yahoo himself. How did that Yahoo thing come about? Your Yahoo.
It was just an expression of exuberance, an expression of joy, an expression of
Yahoo.
Yes. It was all that.
And your director didn't object. He said, okay, go ahead with it.
No, he didn't. As a matter of fact, he liked the expression, basically. I did that for the first time in Tumsa Nahi Dekha, before that Sar Pe Topi Lal song. I come chasing the girl, and then I do that, and there's a bhangra after that. I did the same thing in Dil De Ke Dekho, with the same type of situation. I was chasing the girl again there, and I did Yahoo, and I did a bhangra number after that.
You chased a lot of girls on screen.
That was the right age to do that. And then those are the type of movies that I made, very simple movies. Boy chases girl, boy woos girl, and
girl chases boy.
Girl doesn't chase boy, but in the process of this chase business, boy sings about 8-10 songs, and he wins over girl, and eventually, and there's a villain that pops in. Pranji usually then came in, and he
Pranji with a wig.
Yes, and he took the girl away. And
different kinds of wigs.
Wonderful, and gold wig in Evening in Paris.
Gee, and we'll talk about Evening in Paris in just a moment. Now, talking of your early days and talking about Yahoo and all that, Shammi Kapoor ki jab bhi baat aati hai, Janab, and I'm sorry, I'm talking about you in the third person as if you're not here. Shammi Kapoor ki jab bhi baat aati hai, O.P. Nayyar साहब की म्यूजिक की बात आती है, मोहम्मद रफ़ी की बात आती है, और अभी भी हर कोई ये मानता है आर.डी. बर्मन की बात आती है, हर एक को ये मानता है कि रफ़ी साहब ने जो गाने आपके लिए गाए वो शायद और किसी के लिए नहीं गाए, और उस किस्म की क्वालिटी और उस किस्म की पॉपुलैरिटी कभी भी रफ़ी साहब को नहीं मिली किसी और गाने से.
I don't agree with you in every aspect, because Rafi Saab was very, very popular even otherwise, and he sang some wonderful numbers for everybody, I think. Yes, I was very fortunate. I don't know why. Rafi Saab did some great numbers for me. He sang beautiful songs for me. And I had a very beautiful relationship with him. It's one of those things. I loved him. He was a very fine human being. He loved me, gave me great respect, and you'd be surprised we used to sing together.
You used to sing?
Yes, I mean, I took up classical music when I was young, and then I've been very fond of music and singing. And at Rafi Saab's recordings, whenever we were there, after the recording was over, we sat down, and he always sat down with me, and we took the harmonium up and we sang together. Classical music.
You never recorded together, but
no.
Isn't that sad?
No, I think those were very nice private moments, and but I remember them with love.
But you actually took up classical music.
I did. Yes, there was this music teacher. गुरुजी घर में रखे गए थे राजी के लिए, बेसिकली.
जी.
राजी को बड़ा शौक था, लेकिन फिर उनके पास वक्त नहीं था, तो राजी के पास वक्त नहीं था. शमी बैठ जाओ तुम. So I used to sit down, and I was very fond of it. And gradually, it just so happened that I kept on to it. And for about 5-6 years, I learnt classical music from. And he was a very fine teacher. He taught music to a lot of people in the film industry also, Saigal Saab included.
What was his name, sir?
Pandit Rajendranath Ji. And he was teaching Mukesh ji also. He taught Nutan also, and a very fine, beautiful Rajasthani style of classical music.
Do you still sing, sir, now and then?
At this age, yes, I try to, but...
Can we please have a close-up of Mr. Shammi Kapoor? He talks about age. He still looks as though he's just about to get up and start swinging around trees even now. Which is and when you do sing a little bit, what is it that you actually sing?
No, I'm talking about singing then.
I'm talking about now.
Now I listen to music more. I still listen to classical music, a lot of classical music, and I listen to Hindi classical, I listen to English classical music.
You listen to a lot of Western classical?
Western jazz, yes, and classical, and I love music, period.
And it all started with a red gramophone. Isn't that right? Which
yes.
You bought from the HMB shop. Actually, you didn't buy it. Nargis ji bought it for you.
Yes. That was a long time back. I was very young. And you know why Nargis ji promised to give me a gramophone record player? Actually, she didn't agree to give me a record player. She promised to give me a kiss if she worked in Awara. They just finished Barsat and they were talking up terms and all that stuff, and there are a lot of problems that she was facing. And I happened to be one day at her shooting. I was in school at that time.
Barsat ki shooting.
Barsat ki shooting. I was just doing my metric, I think, at that time. And I was there in the makeup room, and she was very sad and all those little tear stuff. And I said, "What's wrong?" And she says, "I want to do this movie. I want to do Awara. And Shammi, these people are not going to let me do it. I wish I could do it." So I had that little exuberance of a schoolboy. I said, "I'm sure you're going to do it. You'll get it definitely. I'll pray for you." And you know what she said? "Shammi, if I get that picture, I'll give you a kiss." I said, "Fine, done, but you'll get it." It is all winter. After a few months, I was in college. I go to RK Studios. She was shooting there. And she looked at me and she says, "Who are you?" I said, "I'm Shammi Kapoor, the guy you promised you're going to give a kiss to. Remember me?" No way. She was running and I was running after her. I said, "That little kiss you promised me?" She said, "No." "Will a record player do?" I said, "Done." And that's how we settled for a record player.
And she actually drove you out of the studio?
She sat in her car. She had a Riley, black and white Riley car. She sat in her car, told me, "Come sit." And we drove all the way from Chembur. We drove down over here to
HMB.
HMB is Firoz Shah Road or Churchgate Street or something there. And pick. I picked a red gramophone player. Then she said, "Come." Made me sit in the car. We went to Rhythm House. "Pick your 20 records." I picked up 20 records. My God, that
You picked up 20 78 RPM
20,
records.
yes, that's true. That's true.
And one of the records was an R.T. Shaw number, if I remember.
Yes, Jungle Drums. How do you...
Right.
My God. Yes, Jungle Drums. And Gypsy Love Song, and Sibone, and Feneshi, Rambas, yes.
Ramba, Samba, a lot of Ramba and Samba you picked up at that time. And that stayed with you all throughout, isn't it?
It did. Actually, that is the base of all my music training, which I think I went through after that. When I joined theatre, there was this little red box that traveled with me always. So where we performed at night, रात को 11-12 बजे शो खत्म होते, उसके बाद हम लोग जहाँ पे रह रहे हैं, बड़ौदा हो, अहमदाबाद हो, जहाँ पे भी ठहरे हुए, रात को आए, नहाए धोए, खाना खाया, और टेरेस पे जाकर मैं अपना वो रेड बॉक्स साथ ले जाता था, and put the music on, and I had to dance to that music. I'm an 18-year-old, 19-year-old boy dancing to music, just dancing to music, wild, no inhibitions. And I had to give it an expression and give it different expressions. This went on for quite some time to different types of music, and I did this for quite some time. And that stayed with me. And one fine day when I needed that music and I needed that expression, it came back.
It all came back.
It all came back.
And Tumsa Nahi Dekha was your first huge hit.
That was the picture. That's the picture where I was able to establish a style. I got good music, good songs, a good story. I got a good character.
And Jungli was the first color film in which you acted.
And Jungli was the first picture.
But after Jungli, it must have been madness. आप जहाँ जाते थे क्राउड इकट्ठा हो जाता था, अभी भी हो जाता है, लेकिन उस वक्त तो there was pandemonium wherever you used to go.
It was nice.
You were bigger than anything this country or the Indian diaspora had ever seen. You were really the first. As we were talking just before we started the interview, you could be called the Indian Elvis, without the songs, of course. But in terms of the persona, you were like huge. And everybody wanted to be Shammi Kapoor when they grew up, including a lot of people who are still acting and who retired. They still want to be Shammi Kapoor when they grow up. So what is that like?
They're paying me some left-handed compliments, I suppose. It was nice.
Did choreographers ever come along to tell you, choreographers in movies?
I never had choreographers. I did my own, whatever I did. As I told you that all that helped me, it came back to me, and there was an expression for every type of song that I performed eventually. And I did it all in my own way.
Now, your real name is Shamsher Raj Kapoor, isn't that right?
That's right.
But Shammi Kapoor stayed with you.
Yes.
Now, जहाँ तक आपकी पॉपुलैरिटी का प्रश्न है, मतलब जो लोग आपकी तरफ देखते थे, अभी भी देखते हैं, you are possibly one of the very, very few individuals who has the same huge following among